Hello class, I'm Dr. Westover and it's a pleasure to have you in our Organizational Development and Change class this semester. I'm super excited to have the opportunity to work with each of you, and I just wanted to provide this quick video introduction to the course. Since we're not meeting in person, this gives you a chance to get to know me a little bit and also a chance to understand the course flow and the way it's set up in Canvas. So if you'll bear with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll just walk through different elements of the course and make sure that you're comfortable so you can get started and hit the ground running as we start the semester. To start off, I thought I would do a quick personal introduction. If you come up here on the main Canvas page to meet your professor, you can see a little bit about me, including my contact information, some links to my professional page and my LinkedIn page, a place where you can connect with me for virtual office hours. If you're not on campus and you're not able to meet with me in person, feel free to reach out to me at any time if you ever have questions about the class, or if you just want to talk about the HR field or internships, jobs, grad school, whatever. I'm very happy to chat with you about all those things. As you scroll down, you can see a little bit about me professionally. Here's a picture of my family. I've been married to my wife Jackie for over 17 years, and I have 6 children. My oldest is in 10th grade, my youngest is in 1st grade, and they're a hoot. I love them all tremendously, and we have a great time together. I've done a lot of different things academically, so you can see a little bit about my academic background, professional background, my degrees, and my educational background, areas of expertise in terms of research and teaching. And then at the bottom here, you can see my teaching and leadership philosophy, which I really do mean, and I hope to develop this sort of relationship with each of you throughout the semester. So I encourage you to read the introduction. Let me know if you have any questions. I won't really talk about myself personally throughout the course, other than to share video announcement updates from time to time about course content, about your projects, and just to help you understand a little bit about my background and provide examples. But other than that, I probably won't share a lot of personal stuff. But I'm happy to talk with you one-on-one about any of that stuff, so just let me know. Coming back to the home page, there's also the Welcome to the Course. Again, I'm not going to read this to you now. You can read through it. I've linked a few videos that I think are illustrative of how I expect this class to be, what I hope it to be or not to be, and my approach to how students can take responsibility for their own learning, and my role to provide you a good learning environment with a good structured learning environment. I'm committed to help all of you succeed, and as long as you do the work of the class and of the project with your team, you're going to do a great job. This is an online class, but it may not be exactly the same as some of your other online classes. There are what are called synchronous and asynchronous components to this course. So a traditional face-to-face class where you meet in person, that's synchronous. You're meeting at the same time, the same place, you're doing those elements. And then lots of times in online classes where you log in, you do your own thing. It can be any time of day. You just do it on your own pace. That's asynchronous. You're not actually doing it at the same time as other classmates. This class has both elements. So you're going to be doing weekly assignments that are individual, but you're also going to be doing a big team project that parts of it are individual, but parts of it are collective effort in working on a consulting project for a community organization to help them solve an organizational development need. So I hope that you understand that right from the beginning, that you can make sure that you are comfortable with this sort of a class. You will be required to meet weekly with your team, either in person or virtually through web conferencing, video conferencing technology. There will be 2 meetings with me throughout the semester, again, either in person on campus or through video conferencing. And then you'll be expected to meet periodically with your client organization to make sure that things are on the right track. So make sure that you have that understanding. If this isn't the kind of format or class for you, that's okay. You can transfer into some other class. No hard feelings on my part. I understand everyone has their own situation, but you do need to understand what's expected here. And to do well in this class, you will have to do both the individual elements and the team elements. If we go to the syllabus, again, I'm not going to read through all of this, but you can see the learning objectives, you can see course information, prereqs, policies, all of that sort of stuff is right here. And then where I think all of you are going to be super interested is the grade breakdown. So the traditional grade scale over on the side that you'll see in most of your classes, and then the different grading criteria. There will be weekly readings as well as short little reading quizzes. You may freak out a little bit when you see the number of quizzes, but each of those quizzes is actually just for one question, and that's just because of the way Canvas is set up. I've embedded the textbook into Canvas, and so what you do is you read one section of the reading, and then there's a question, and then you read another section, and then there's a question. And so what that means is there ends up being a lot of one question quizzes, but any given week you're not going to have, it's going to be 3 to 5 questions for the reading. And they're not particularly difficult questions, it's just to make sure that you're actually getting into the reading. So you'll do that every week. Of course, 45 points is not a lot, but it's just enough to keep you honest, keep you engaged in the reading. We'll also have weekly online discussions where you'll do an initial post, and then you'll do follow-up posts with teams. Each week there will be a randomized separate team or group, rather, that you're doing your online discussion with. Those groups will have, I think, around 7 students in them. And so each week you'll have a new group of 7, and you'll have your discussion with them that week, and then the next week you'll rotate and there'll be a new group of 7. Hopefully that will give you a good exposure to lots of different students in the class and lots of different thoughts and ideas related to the concept of the course. About every 2 weeks there will be a case write-up. The case usually is about 3 to 5 pages in length, and then you'll answer 3 to 4 case questions in a couple pages. They're not super hard, but they take time, and it requires you to do some really thoughtful analysis and consideration of the material as it applies to the content for the week and the case. So expect those about every 2 weeks. Those are individual cases. And then the huge portion of the class is the Service Learning Consulting Project with the community organization. And you can see it's like 2/3 of the points in the class. So you could do everything, all of the individual stuff, and knock it out of the park and just be amazing, and then not do the group project, and you will not pass the class. So keep that in mind. If you're an individual person, you like to do things on your own, this probably isn't the class for you. 2/3 of the class will be this project, and then that's broken down over here. So in that project, there are individual elements. You will be doing 5 reflection papers at different stages of the project to talk about what you're learning and how you're understanding the different material at different stages of the project. But there will be a group proposal. You'll have weekly team meetings where you'll have to provide just a really brief update of what is accomplished in those meetings. There will be a couple meetings with me. At the end of the semester, there will be a site and group evaluation that your client fills out on you and that you fill out on yourself and each other, all the team members. There will be an individual time log, and then of course your final project with all the deliverables, the report, everything, as well as an oral report. That's actually broken down into a couple different pieces. You'll do a draft oral report that will give me a chance to give you feedback, as well as some peer critiques from your classmates. So every student in class will have to review a couple other videos and provide feedback, and then that'll give your team an opportunity to revise your report and redo it and at a higher quality. So all of those elements together comes down to 1,240 points for the course. I think this is very doable. I've been teaching this class with these types of projects for over 8 years, and students, with only 1 or 2 exceptions over 8 years, the projects have been amazing, and the clients have loved what the students have done. So I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to be able to do an amazing job on your projects. I do just want to make sure that you understand what's expected of you going into them, and so there will be more discussion about that as we get into the course. More policy stuff, and then as you scroll down in the syllabus, you'll see more details about each of the assignment components, so you understand what's expected and what you need to do. Prompt questions for the reflections, all of that sort of stuff is included here. Let me know if you have any questions about any of that. There's also a link here for resources and materials. Here you'll find the free e-text that's used for the course. You can download this as a PDF and use it that way, but like I said, it's also embedded into Canvas, and so each chapter that you'll be reading is embedded into each module, so you can just read it right in Canvas if you want and then do the quizzes. But if you would rather do the PDF with the whole book together in one place, you can do it that way. And there's actually an option, if you want, and you really want a physical book, download the PDF, and then you'll see instructions in the front of it on where you can go to purchase just a at-cost copy of the physical book. It'd be like $5 or something if you wanted to do it that way. There's also additional readings by topic. I've embedded those throughout the modules as well, so students sometimes really want to go into much more depth on the topics that we're covering in the course, and so there's quite a few readings that you can do beyond the textbook. Here you can see the cases that are going to be assigned throughout the course, and then there's some other resources for the team project, some web resources. So I hope that you'll just return here if and when you're trying to find resources and materials and maybe you can't remember which module it was in. You can come back here and find it quick and easy. Over here on the sidebar, of course, you can see the assignment area, the discussion area. You can go to grades, see the people. All that sort of stuff is embedded here if and when you want to use it. Now, let me jump right on in to week 1 just so you know what to expect. In week 1, right off the bat, what you need to do is get into the course and start working your way through the modules. The first thing I want you to do is really just get into the consulting project introductory videos. So if you come here, you can see a little bit of an overview of the project, kind of in general terms about what you're going to be doing. And then if you go back, you'll see an introductory video to our client organization this semester, and their website, an introductory video to the client organization, and then a brief video for each of the 3 main projects that you'll be broken up into groups to work on for the organization. Once, and this is very important, once you have watched all those videos and you have a sense of which project you might be most interested in, I want you to do this organizational development consulting project preference survey. I just want you to rank the 3 projects in the order of your interest. So which one would you prefer to do most? And then second choice, third choice. I'll use those preferences to form your teams to work on the project throughout the course. So please do that by the end of week 1. Because you'll be jumping right on in to the first stages of the project in week 2. So please make sure you do that. And then jump into module 1. What is organizational development? Here we have our module overview. I've structured this in 2 ways. One, you can come to the overview page and see an introduction, see the learning objectives, and then you can see what needs to be done all right here. Watch these videos, read these assignments and submit these things, do the discussion, all of that. So you can come to the overview page and see all of that if you want, but you can also see it all right here listed in this way. So feel free to do it either way, whatever's most comfortable for you. If you can do all of this in week 1, you're going to be off to a great start and be ready to just really rock it in this class. So I think that's about it for this first introductory video. It's exciting. I love this topic. I love organizational development, and I'm looking forward to working with each of you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if and when you have a question, and we're going to have a great semester. Thank you.